All right, welcome back, YouTube fam. It's been a minute, but yes, we're trying to stay consistent. I just downloaded the Vibe. I missed the first session, so this is what we're working on. It's currently the second session that we're working on. We have to add the flowers. We did the first session, what the first rose, the butterfly, and the face, and you've seen a lot of that was definitely undone. So we still got a long ways to go, but yep. So the technique, I just want to go over with y'all like the technique I was studying to not really mix my colors, like pre-mix, but mix on the go. And I definitely been into this little program. Well, it's like a little course, and it's mainly based off color because I'm kind of comfortable with the black and gray. I could get better with black and gray, of course, but I definitely want to get a little more comfortable with color. And basically the way this method kind of goes is you're using basic tones, which will be like the blue, yellow, and red, because with those three tones you pretty much can make all colors. Like red and yellow, of course, gonna make orange. Blue and yellow gonna make green. Kind of things like that. Even though since I already have some of the greens and some of the pre-mixed bottles, I still use it. I'm not gonna just stop using it and let it go to waste. But I still kind of try to limit the palette as much as possible. And a place that it definitely helped. It helped with the actual tattooing process. But when you're filling out those lot numbers and the colors you use on a sheet, that definitely helps there, because I only been to use about 5-6 colors and to make every other color versus me gonna use like 7-8 and then I gotta write all on the back of the paper. No, so it definitely saves time right there. And I'm definitely trying to be as open as much as possible with you all. So if you all have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave it down in the comments below. Well, yeah, like I said, I definitely had some of my oranges out, definitely had some of the yellows out. And for some reason, y'all see the square at the bottom, that's my camera. I know it started on at first, but it kept cutting out. I didn't figure out that issue yet, but you all will be seeing they come back on. Y'all see the colors that I had on the palette and what's mixing. But yeah, so I'm still learning. And one thing that I definitely just got as well is called Understanding Light by James Gurney. I think that's the name of the book, Understanding Light. And then go over like color mixing and things like that, color theory. So I'm definitely gonna be reading over that book, just looking at it and trying to learn more color theory. But the basic color mixing, I think we all pretty much got the basic. Okay, blue make yellow, well, blue and yellow make green, red and yellow make orange, those basic things. But when it gets a little bit deeper, like your warm side of the tone of the family, like let's keep all this warm, or do you want this more vibrant, high chroma? Do you want this more tinted down, low values? Like all that makes a big difference. And also looking at your colors as if it's a black and gray. So that's one thing I definitely want to start doing. Take my color work and I could just turn this to black and gray photo, and let's see how high of a contrast did we really achieve on this tattoo. And all these ways is the ways that you all can look at your own work and just study and learn from it, because it definitely makes a big difference. And another thing that I recently did as well, you see I just got regular wash cups, but a thing that I just did, I bought like these Lahive bottles or Hive cups where you could like kind of rest your needle in it and the needle sit in the water. That way ink ain't just sitting in your needle, because that definitely affect your needles. So for those that don't know, it definitely affect your needles, because if it let that ink dry up on it, and it's going to get hard on the tip, so you basically got to pull that ink off those tips. So if you sit in the water, you ain't got to worry about that constant issue of kind of cleaning that needle off and that ink drying up on that needle. And I definitely encourage anybody that's into color or even to do a basic tattoo, definitely try to dip on the go. You see the colors I got out, I had a dark red, regular red, and I had 2 blues, 2 yellows, and I try to mix that brown with the yellow, and I was having a little issue mixing those browns, but I definitely kind of kept it consistent. That's what I used in the face, and we ain't got no crazy tone that's thrown off. The only tone I seen was that green that I probably didn't really rinse out the needle enough, and it caught some of that green on her face. But other than that, this is definitely a fun way to do it. That's why I think when I paint, I do like the mix on the go, and it's more ways you can learn. Like versus if you pre-mix everything, yeah, you're not gonna learn as much, and you're not gonna take as long on the project because it's already pre-mixed. But learning this, you're gonna eventually get faster with it over time. But the starter course is gonna be a learning curve, and that's just with anything you do. Starting in black and gray, starting tattooing, you're gonna have to get that learning curve till you get comfortable, and then you move up to the next level. And once you move up to the next level, then it's on to the next, and it's on to the next. But as long as you keep on trying, pushing yourself to the next level and challenging yourself, that's the main thing. A lot of people like to stay in their comfort zone. Don't stay in your comfort zone. Challenge yourself. It's the only way you really will grow. You become a better artist over time. And that's another thing as well. I was telling y'all about the bug pen needles. I was using a lot of bug pen needles, mainly because for portraits, black and gray work, it's smaller pinholes, so you could go over that portrait kind of, I ain't gonna say as many times as you want, but if your hand light enough, you pretty much go over it as many times you want without really kind of damaging the skin. But with color, I definitely had to switch back to those 12 gauge standard needles, because the pinholes is a lot bigger, and the gauge of the needle, the pins, is bigger. And it's a reason why they're bigger, because when you're packing colors is like, it got a lot more heavy pigment to it, and black and gray is thin. With these thick colors, you definitely pack in, but it's kind of like stick and move. You got to get in, get out without overworking the skin. And part of this face at the bottom left by the jaw, I definitely caught myself kind of overworking that spot. And like, you just got to know what to look for when you're using color. Like, the skin will start to get a little bit of texture, and if you see that little bit of texture, that's a sign that, okay, you're on the brink of possibly overworking the skin. Don't constantly hit that area. A lot of people don't listen, don't follow their gut, but everybody got to learn some way, somehow. Everybody don't learn from somebody just telling them, don't hit this area no more, because you overworking it. They're gonna still hit the area. I had somebody that was working with me and definitely was not listening, but you know, still on the brink of looking around for people, looking for artists that's real serious and stuff like that. But y'all see when I did in the eye, those greens, blacks, I definitely switched over to that 7 curve mag. The whole tattoo was done with 7 curve mag, so y'all don't know. 7 curve mag, 11 curve mag, that's, both of those are standard. And then I used the 7 round liner, maybe a 3 round. I don't think I even used a 3 round liner. I probably used a basic 7 round liner with this. And no lie, I was proud of myself. And that's one thing I'll say with any artist: continue to push yourself out of that comfort zone, but also kind of take some time to step back and be like, yeah, I'm really growing. Because I've seen some of my old color work, and I'm like, this is a big difference. I was not nowhere close to it. Now mind you, I did probably caught myself slacking on that first rose, because we was at the end of our session time, and I was trying to go ahead and get that rose done for her, but she loved it. Everything, like I said, she loved everything about it. But me as an artist, I know we could do better, we could do better. Just like the bottom part of this tattoo, it was not done. You see her fingers, the side of her hands, it was not done. I was slowly trying to move up, so next session we could get to this part, next session we could get to this part. In this specific tattoo, what I went ahead and did, and I just said I'm gonna give her a 3rd session for free, because it was not done. Like, I did not like it, I wasn't satisfied. And that's one thing as an artist, you should never be satisfied. If you're satisfied, that means you settle down and you accept them for what it is, and you're not trying to push yourself no more. And you all can tell from this image right here how it's not done. Look at the 1st session of that diamond at the bottom. That's still the 1st session. Super bland, not too much contrast, shadows, none of that. Basic. But I definitely appreciate you all clicking on the video. Hope y'all learned something. Definitely leave me a like, comment, and subscribe, and hope to see you all in the next video.